Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I am here with my May TBR and I am so excited for this. I will be taking part in a few readathons in May, so it's definitely going to be a very busy month. So I will talk you through what the readathons I'm going to be taking part in and the books I'm going to use for each of the prompts. I currently have on my TBR, if I count the books for you, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 books already on my TBR, and I do have another 2 books to add on to that for book club reads. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a full-on month, but I am so excited for May. I'm just about nearly finished with my 30 books in 30 days for April, and I can't believe I've almost done it. It's crazy to me. So my plan for today is to finish off my 30 books in 30 days. If I manage to do that, that would be amazing, but it's definitely also going to run. I still have another 2 days left, but I would love to get them all checked off for today. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk you through my May TBR. Okay guys, so the main readathon that I will be taking part in for the month of May is run by Lexi from Books with Lexi. I'll leave her channel down below and also her announcement video for the readathon, but the readathon is Escape the Readathon. This is my first time taking part in this and I'm so excited. So this round of Escape the Readathon is the Black Cat Carnival, I can't speak, and it is a carnival themed based team readathon. There are 4 different teams. I'm part of the Snack Squad team, which our lovely co-hosts are Monica from A Little Bit with Monica and Ashley from Ashley's Little Library, and I'll leave both their channels down below as well. And we're already having a really fun time, so we're having we have a chat in our Discord where we're like strategizing our team for how we're going to tackle the readathon. So the purpose of the readathon is to basically escape the Black Cat Carnival. There are 10 building prompts, so each building has a different prompt, and then once you complete your building prompt, there are game prompts within the buildings. I don't know what those prompts are at the moment, but I only know the building prompts, so I'll talk you through the books I picked out for the building prompts, and you can read whatever you want. There's no, it's not genre specific. You can read whatever you want, and every book that you read will contribute to collecting tickets to escape the carnival. So you need to complete a book to get tickets for your team, and the team with the most tickets can escape the Black Cat Carnival. So yeah, without further ado, I will talk you through what the building prompts are and which books I have picked out for those prompts. So I do have my spreadsheet with the building prompts and the books that I've picked out for it. So if I happen to look down, I'm just looking at my laptop for all my information there. So the first prompt that I will be trying to tackle will be the Good Fortune, which is your most read genre. And for this, I have decided to go for fantasy, because fantasy is my most read genre currently at the moment. So I have decided to go for a very much anticipated book that I got in fairly recently, and it is A Feather So Black by Lyra Slane. This is a gorgeous fairy loot edition. It is absolutely beautiful. Like, is that not just the most stunning book that you've ever seen? Let me see. And the end papers are just, oh, I'm obsessed. So this is a fantasy romance, I believe, and there's fae and there is a love triangle, which I am really excited about, because I know a lot of people don't like love triangles, but I don't mind them in books if they're done really, really well. Just to mention, guys, I won't read the whole synopsis for each of the books because I do have a lot of books to get through, so I'll just give you a brief synopsis of each of the books. So, for A Feather So Black, it is, as I said, a fantasy romance set in a world of perilous magic and moonlit forests, spinning a seductive tale of a changeling princess, her cursed sister, and the dangerous fae lord she must defeat to save her family. So, this is definitely sounds right on my street. It's definitely giving me like ACOTAR vibes, and I'm so here for it. So for Good Fortune, I'm going to be using A Feather So Black for that prompt. Next prompt is for Unfair Whale, and that is the book at the top of your TBR, so like an anticipated release at the top of your TBR. So for this one, I've decided to continue on with a series I've been absolutely loving, and that series is the Boys of Tolman series by Chloe Walsh. So I need to move on to the next book, which is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tolman series, and we followed Johnny and Shannon in the first 2 books, and in this one I believe we are following Joey, who is Shannon's brother from the first book, and it says on the back here, he's a boy made of fire and he's about to meet his match. So I don't want to read too much into the synopsis, so I don't want to spoil it for people, but this series is definitely very emotional, a lot of triggers. I don't know what triggers there will be in this one, but from the Binding 13, which is the first book, there was domestic abuse and bullying, mental, physical bullying, so I don't know if that's going to carry on in here or if there's different topics in here, but I am really, really excited to continue on with this one. So yeah, I'm going to be using that for my unfair wheel prompt. Next up is Food Court, and the prompt for Food Court is a popcorn read, so you can interpret that however you want and read that you're excited about, something that you think you'll read in one sitting, something like that. So for this one, I had to put on, obviously, Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Chestnut Springs series and our May book for ChesnutsSpringsALong, which I am co-hosting with Brittany and Leandra. I am so excited to be reading this one. This is definitely my favourite in the series. So in this one we're following Cade and Willa. Cade Eaton is the oldest sibling in the Eaton family, and it is single dad nanny romance. Working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't keep my hands off him and he can't keep his hands off of me. It is so, so good. I just love the relationship between Cade and Will in here, and the live show for this will be towards the start of June, so this is definitely getting read in May, and I am so, so excited. So of course I had to put this down for my popcorn read. I couldn't think of anything else, so I'm so glad that I have Heartless on my May TBR. Next prompt is for Cutthroat Circus, and that is to read a book that matches a cover matches your team leader's thumbnails. So a thumbnail, for example, is like the thumbnail on like someone's YouTube video, for example. So I decided to go for one of Monica's videos, who is our team leader, and she has a thumbnail where there was quite a lot of green on her thumbnail, and a lot of the books I didn't own that were featured on the thumbnail. So I've decided to go for it to do like a colour kind of vibe. So I decided to go for a book that I got recently in the first Romancy box for Fairy Loot, and that book is Lore of the Wilds by Alina Sabrina. I think that's how you pronounce that, but I went for this one because of it's very much got green vibes all over the cover. It is absolutely stunning, and even like the naked hardback is green as well, so I thought that kind of fit with that vibe of the Monica's thumbnail. So this is another fantasy romance, which I am so excited about. A library with a deadly enchantment, a Fae lord who wants in, a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. So yep, Fae in this one as well, and I am so, so excited for this one. So I'm going to be using that one for my Cutthroat Circus prompt. Next prompt is Heads Up, and that is to read a book from an author that you have read from before, and for this one I decided to go for the final book in a series I have been loving so much recently, and the book in question is Mina and the Cult by Amy McCaw. This is the third and final book in the Mina series. This series is so much fun, set in the 90s in New Orleans. It's got vampires, it's got slayers in here, it's got like those YA slasher vibes in there, and it is just so, so good, and I just absolutely adore this series, and I'm kind of sad to be finishing off the series, but I'm desperate to read this one. So yeah, I had to get Mina on this TBR for sure. So yeah, that's the book I will be reading for that prompt. Next up is Horsing Around, and for that one I have to read an intimidating read, and I don't know who I think I am, but I think I'm going to try and do this book in May because it is an absolute chonker, but I need to reread this book so I can read the second book in the series. But I have decided to put on the absolute chonker that is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I don't know who I think I am, but I think I'm going to do this in May. I don't know how many pages is this book. I think it's over 500 pages. Let's see. Let's see what, I mean, I can look because I've read it. 718 pages. It's an absolute brick, this thing, but this is a stunning Illumicrate edition with the most amazing sprayed edges that I've ever seen. And I thought it kind of fit with like this, the Black Hat Carnival kind of vibe. Like, it's just so stunning. So in this one, from what I remember of this one, we're following Gabriel de Leon. He's half man, half monster, and he's the last remaining Silver Saint, so a vampire hunter, I believe. And he's basically telling his story. He's in prison. He's basically telling his like life story, and that's kind of all I can say about this one because I can't remember a whole ton from it. But I think I am making the right choice to reread of Empire the Vampire before I read Empire of the Damned, which I also have in the Lumicrate edition as well. So yeah, I am excited to be reading this one, but it's an absolute chunker, and I thought that would fit for an intimidating read prompt. So yeah, Empire the Vampire is going on this TBR. Next prompt is Bullseye Battle, and that is to read a book from a new to you author. And for this one, I've decided to go for another Fairy Loot special edition that I got recently, and I haven't read from this author before, but this book really did sound good, and it's going to hopefully be a potential buzzy read for another readathon that I'm taking part in May. But the book is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Cicerelli, I think that's how you pronounce that. But this is a stunning Fairy Loot edition, and it's just so beautiful. Like, Fairy Loot just always do the best special editions ever. This one follows a witch and a witch hunter, and it's a forbidden romance. It's the first book in the Crimson Moth duology, and yeah, I'm just really excited to give this one a try. I have heard some good things about it, but I love books that have got like witches in there, and I've never read like a romance between a witch and a witch hunter before. But yeah, it's definitely giving me like those vibes that I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm really excited, and this cover is just so stunning. It's so pretty. So yeah, that's going on my May TBR as well. Next up is No Strings Attached, and this is a friend pick. So I asked my lovely booktube friend Amanda to give me a book recommendation, and she did give me Signed Sealed Dead by Cynthia Murphy. I have requested from my library, but I don't think it's going to come in time. So I have got a backup, which I am going to add on this TBR, and I know that Amanda loves the series. I don't know I think she has read the final book, but the final book in the Knockmount series, which is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, I still have not read this yet. I did make an attempt to try and do it earlier on this year, but I didn't manage to get around to it, so I thought that this would be quite a good time to do it, and I can use it for another readathon that I'm going to be taking part in as well, which I'll mention later on. But yeah, Things We Left Behind, we're following Lucian and Sloane in here, and it's enemies to lovers, I think, in here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there was only one woman who could set me free, but I would rather set myself on fire than ask soul molten for anything, and that's all I really want to know about this. But I am really excited, and another final book that I can finish off another series with. So yeah, that's going on my TBR as well. Next up is Hard Hitter, which is a 5-star prediction, and I am very confident that I think that this book will definitely be a 5-star. This is Elsie Silver's brand new release, which is Wild Love. This is the first book in the Rose Hill series, I think it's called. Rose Hill series. So this is Elsie Silver's brand new release, and I want to say a massive thank you to Alicia for gifting this to me. You didn't have to gift me this, but I'm so happy to have it. So in this one, we're following Forbes and Rosie. She's been driving him wild for years, the kind of wild that comes with wanting your best friend's little sister and knowing that you can't have her. So this just sounds right on my street. And Elsie Silver has majority of her books have been 5 stars from me, so I don't think that she's going to let me down on this one. So yeah, Wild Love is going on my TBR. Okay guys, and my final prompt for Escape the Readathon that I need to get is Funhouse, which is a poll pick. And for that one, I did a poll where I had 3 different books. I had the Sad Air, I think it's called, Sing Me to Sleep, and I also had Hidden Pictures. And the winner of the prompt was Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton, which I am really excited about. This is another Fairy Loot edition, and it's absolutely stunning. In this one, it's a forbidden romance. We've got sirens and mermaids in here, a forbidden romance with a prince. Our main character is an assassin that has to keep her identity a secret, and it just sounds really good. It's a YA, I think, and yeah, I think it's just going to be really fun. So Sing Me to Sleep is the last book I need to read for Escape the Readathon, and I am really excited. Okay guys, so that was my Escape the Readathon TBR. I also wanted to mention another readathon that I'm going to be taking part in for the month of May, which is May the TBR Be With You readathon, which was created by Becca from Becca Fowle. I'll leave her channel and the announcement video down below, but This is a Star Wars themed readathon, where normally Becca will do her May the TBR Be With You video every month, and she has a board that has different planets, and each prompt correlates with a different planet. And for this round of it, we got to pick up to 5 or 10 planets. I've got 5 prompts that I've picked from for this readathon, and you could pick a prompt from one prompt from each of the planets. So that's what I've done for this readathon, and I am really excited. And some of the books that I have got I can use for the prompts. So yeah, I will just go through what books I'm going to use for which prompts. Okay guys, so the first planet that I landed on was Naboo, and I decided to go for the Anakin prompt, which is to read a romance, and pretty much the majority of my Escape the Readers on TBR is romance, so I can pick anything for that prompt really. So I can pick A Feather So Black, Saving Six, Lord of the Wilds, The Crimson Moth, Things We Left Behind, Wild Love and Sing Me to Sleep, so I can use any of them for that prompt, which is great. The second prompt plan that I landed on was Coruscant, and I decided to go for Chewbacca prompt, which is a book with a non-human character. So for that one I can use A Feather So Black, because there's Fae, Lord of the Wilds, there's Fae, Crimson Moth, main character is a witch, Empire the Vampire, there's vampires in there, Sing Me to Sleep, there's sirens. So yeah, I can use any of the books for that prompt really. And then I landed back onto Naboo, and then I decided to go for Padme, which is a book by a female author. And pretty much, I think, apart from J. Kristoff, all of my books have been written by female authors, so I can use any of those. And then next up, I landed on Mandalore, which is, I picked the Satine prompt, which is to read a book with a forbidden love. And for that one, I can use Sing Me to Sleep, because there's a forbidden romance. Wild Love, I could maybe tweak it for that one. Lord of the Wilds, I don't know if there's a forbidden love in there. There's a love triangle, I think. I don't think there's a forbidden love. Yeah, so it's probably those ones I can use for that prompt. And then the final prompt that I landed on was Mustafar, and I picked the Obi-Wan prompt, which is to read a book with mental health representation. And for that one, I'm pretty sure I can use Saving Six, because I'm pretty sure that there is mental health rep in there. Empire the Vampire, potentially. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's all the books I can, and prompts I can use for May the TBR Be With You. And I am really, really, really excited to be doing this. Okay guys, so I'm going to chat you through some other books that I would love to get to in the month of May. I do have 2 mandatory book club reads that I would like to try and get to in the month of May. So I want to start off with a new book club that the lovely Beatrice, Laura and Donna have set up, which is the Sibs Book Club, and they are kicking off in May with their first buddy read, and that is going to be Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. I've never ever read an Angie Kim book before, but I am excited to give this one a try. And I've got the synopsis up on my Goodreads here on my laptop. So it says, when a father goes missing, his family's desperate search leads them to question everything they knew about him and one another. Both a riveting page-turner and a deeply moving portrait of a family in crisis from the award-winning author of Miracle Creek. So that sounds really good. So kind of like a mystery thriller, which I love and I do want to try and read more of. So I am really excited for that one. And the other book club that I want to try and prioritise in May is the B&K book club, which is run by Brittany and Kelsey. I took part in the last month's buddy read, which was Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So I am excited for the May pick, which is going to be Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda. This is another thriller, and it's about a mother, Hazel Sharp, daughter of Mirror Lake's longtime local detective, unexpectedly inherits her childhood home. She warily is drawn back to the town and people she left behind almost a decade earlier. But Hazel's not the only relic of the past to return. A drought has descended on the region, and the water level in the lake drops. Long hidden secrets begin to emerge, including evidence that may help find and explain the mystery of her mother's disappearance. So that sounds really interesting as well. So I am excited for both of those picks, and I can't wait to get to them in May. Then I also have a few other reads that I would love to try and get to in the month of May, and one of them hopefully will be a buddy read with Barb. from Barb's Bookland, and she actually gifted this to me, so thank you, Barb, for gifting this to me. But she gifted me Holly Jackson's brand new release, which is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I am so excited for this one. I've loved everything so far that I've read from Holly Jackson, and we're following our main character, Belle, who's lived her whole life in the shadow of her mother's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness. Rachel is gone, presumed dead. The case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for the filming to end for life to go back to normal, but then Rachel Price reappears and life will never be the same again. Lights, camera, lies. It just sounds so good, and I can't wait to pick this up. So hopefully me and Barb will be busy reading this in May, and I cannot wait for it. Next up is another book that I actually purchased the other day, and I read the synopsis and I thought it just sounded really up my street, but the book is A Song of the Six Realms by Judy I. Lin, which is the same author as A Magic Steeped in Poison, which I have read and I did really enjoy it. This is her brand new release, and it's such a cute little hardback. And it's like, oh, it's so pretty. And I just thought the synopsis sounded really good. So, uncover the dark past of the Celestials in this melodic tale inspired by Chinese mythology and Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, which I have read before. So, yeah, I don't want to know too much, but this cover is just so beautiful. I am absolutely obsessed with it. So, yeah, I do want to try and get to this in May if possible. So, yeah, that's going on my TBR as well. And the final book that I want to add onto my May TBR is the final book in a duology series that I read from Rebecca Ross. I read A River Enchanted in April, and I really enjoyed it actually. I gave it 4 stars, so I do want to continue on with this duology and finish it off. But the book is A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. I just love this cover so much. It is so beautiful. And thank you to the lovely Demi for gifting this to me for Christmas. I think she gifted both of them to me, so I will be hopefully reading this in May. So this will be perfect for another readathon that I'm doing in May as well. But this follows on from A River Enchanted, and we're following Jack and Adaria, and I don't want to know too much about this one. Also, I can't give you the synopsis for this one because it's the second book in a duology. But the first book we followed Jack and Adaria, and there was girls who went missing. Jack is a bard, he has musical abilities, magical abilities, and it's enemies to lovers romance. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, so I am excited to finish off the duology, and I will hopefully be up to date with reading from Rebecca Ross. I still have Ruthless Vows to read, but yeah, I will be up to date with this duology. But yeah, I am really excited. And then finally, the other 2 readathons that are both hosted by lovely Steph from Steph Loves. I will be taking part in another round of Box Readathon, which is Steph's F1 readathon. So for a week, starting from the 13th of May to the 19th of May, the aim of the Box Readathon is to read special edition books, so subscription box books that we haven't gotten to yet. We can count books if they've been featured in subscription boxes if you don't have that specific edition, but it's really fun and it's a great way to get through your TBR. So I do have a few books that I'm using for the readathons that I can use for a Box Readathon, so I will double check what I can use. So A Feather So Black I can use, Empire the Vampire I can use, The Crimson Moth, Sing Me to Sleep, Lord of the Wilds I can use, A Fire Endless I can use because that's been done in a part of a subscription box. I think that's it. I don't think A Feather So Black. Potentially, I don't know, potentially Song of the Six Realms, potentially. I don't know if that's going to be in a subscription box, but quote me if I'm wrong. I don't think so, but if it is, I probably can use it for then. Yeah, I think that's all I can use. So yeah, I think I've got quite a good TBR for that week, and I am really excited. And the other readathon that Steph is the creator of is the Final Book Support Group readathon, which the aim of that readathon is to read final books in series or continue on with series. So that will be running from the 3rd to the 6th of May, I believe. Yeah, 3rd of May to 6th of May. So I do have actually some final books on my TBR, so I can use A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross, Mina and the Cult by Amy McCall, that's a final book, Things Left Behind by Lucy Score I can use. So I do have some books. Saving Six I can use because that's a continuation. Heartless I can use because that's a continuation. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much my May TBR, and I am so excited for all of the readathons I'm going to be taking part in. Hey guys, Edge Sinclair here. I forgot to add on another book that I will be trying to fit in May. The lovely Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading and Rainy from Rainy Blue Reads have set up a new book club, which is the Tortured Readers Book Club. And it's going to be like fantasy romance book club, and I'm really excited to take part in it. And the first book that we are planning to read for the month of May, I've got it over here so I don't forget the name of it. It is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I think it's got dragons in it, and that's the only thing that I know about it. So I will be adding this onto my TBR. And also there's another readathon that Donna from the Mum Book collection is doing as well, the readathon, which is readathon to help you thin down your TBR. There's a bingo board, and I will leave a link to Donna's announcement video for that, so I will try and get involved with that in May as well. But yeah, just another book to add onto that massive TBR that I've already got, and I'm just exceeding my expectations. But When the Moon Hatched is on Kindle Unlimited, so hopefully it should be quite an easy read to get through. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly add that on to the end of my TBR. Okay guys, so that is my May TBR complete, and I am so excited for this month. I think I've got some really good picks on my TBR, and I can't wait to get to all of them. Do let me know in the comments down below if you're taking part in Escape the Readathon, what team you're on, what some of your reading plans are for May, any other readathons you're doing. Are you going to be taking part in Final Book Support Group? Let me know. If you're doing the F1 readathon on Steph's Patreon, let me know. And yeah, it's just going to be so much fun, and I can't wait for all the readathons in this month for May to have a really good time, and I'm just so excited. So if you liked this video, if you were here and you didn't want to comment anything, give me an emoji. Give me a vampire emoji for Empire the Vampire and Mean It in the Cult, because I happen to have two books that have got vampires in them. So just give me a little vampire emoji if you were here and you didn't want to comment anything. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope May is a great reading month for you all. But I will see you hopefully in my next video very soon. Bye!